From Greece. Now, the people from Greece, I'm not going to lie, I fought a few people from Greece recently, and they've all had really, really unique teams. I'm going to think that this guy might have Wide Guard on his Steela. So what we're going to do is, if we ever have Ninetales versus Garchomp, we're either going to go for a Freeze Dry, or we might just Protect, because I really think there's two things with Wide Guard on that team. Here we go. Garchomp's not good here. I'm running Dragonium Z Garchomp, so I can't bring it versus Feeny, first of all, and Coco. So I have to go Metagross. He's already locked in. I'm not going to lead with Ninetales. I think I'm going to Lele Blim this guy. We're going to go Lele Blim. We're going to go Metagross. And I'm thinking the last Pokemon is Arcanine, even though I really don't want to do that. I just really don't know how much value I could get out of Ninetales in this matchup. I'm going to bring Arcanine. Arcanine's a soft check to Steela, and the reason why I say soft check, you would think the Arcanine just beats Steela. It'd be really hard for Arcanine to actually stay on the board long enough to ever fight their Steela. This Arcanine set, that is. And I don't really need Ninetales this game. So we're going to see what he leads with. I think I'm going to be able to be okay, but it's going to be kind of hard. I'm going to have to hit Will-O-Wisp to win this game, and that's not something I really want to do. That's not something I want to be forced to do. Let's see. If he leads with Gigalith, I'm not going to go for Tailwinds. I'm just going to pop Will-O-Wisps. Let's see if he leads with Gigalith and something fast. So it's Coco Arcanine. This is completely alright with me. We're going to be able this turn. I think I'm actually just going to Protect Bait the Coco. I really think what he's going to do. This is one of my favorite leads to do against Coco. Now, this does not work 50% of the time. This is a weird play. Now, we see the Coco, we see Arcanine. We know it's probably not Sash Coco because he's pairing it with a Gigalith team. So what we're going to do is he's expecting us to go Protect with Lele and Tailwind. So he's going to go Volt Switch and Flare Blitz into our Drifblim slot. That's probably what he's going to do. So, and he's going to be trying to go into his Gigalith most likely. That's usually what they would go for here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to Psychic the Coco, and we're going to Protect with the Drifblim. And in protecting with Drifblim, traps the Coco because Volt Switch doesn't work if it goes into Protect. So that's what we're trying to do. If we get the Coco off the board, that's huge. This gets countered by him like Z-moving our Drifblim and going for a really fast attack onto our Lele, like a jolly banded Arcanine Flare Blitz. So he goes for the Volt Switch. We block that, which is exactly what I said was going to happen. We are either winning a speed tie versus Arcanine or we're just faster. We're going to be able to KO the Coco, and so far the turn is playing out exactly the way I said it was going to. Hopefully we block a Flare Blitz on the Arcanine. He goes for Wild Charge, same thing. The turn played out exactly the way I said it was supposed to play out. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, so Celesteela is on the board. I'm probably just going to switch out my Lele for my Arcanine. I think that's a pretty good play here. So we're going to switch out Lele for Arcanine. And I'm probably... should I Tailwind here? Let's look at the rest of his team. Like, I don't need a Tailwind if his last Pokemon is Gigalith, you know? He has potential Garchomp in the back, and that would be lame, yeah. But I think I'm just going to Will-O-Wisp the Steela. Right? Is that the play? We're going to do that, yeah. We're going to Will-O-Wisp the Steela. So Lele's switching out. Now, I don't really have a reason to Will-O-Wisp Steel, which is why I don't really agree with this play. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't feel I need to Tailwind right now. So Will-O-Wisp comes in. It hits on the Steel, that's pretty good. And I really wish that he protected with that turn. I know he's heavy slamming my Lele slot. So this will neuter that somewhat. He goes for a second Wild Charge. It's not going to be doing a ton. Like, it does half. That's not really enough. He takes a good amount of recoil. We know that that's most likely a bulky Arcanine. And, okay. That's lame. I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do probably this turn is just Protect with my Drifblim and just go for a Flare Blitz. I think that's probably a good enough play. If he sends Garchomp out, I'll just Will-O-Wisp the Garchomp and I'll be good. Because then all of his Pokemon are pretty much burned. So we're just going to try and Flare Blitz the Steela. He's not going to let us. Like, we know that. But yeah, I was thinking about going for like a Will-O-Wisp on the Arcanine, expecting a Garchomp switch in, but that's too eager. We'll see. See what he goes for. I'm thinking maybe that is a banded Arcanine. It might be. That did a ton of damage to my Drifblim. I know it's super effective, but he's intimidated. So maybe it is a banded Arcanine. And that Steela lived my Flare Blitz. Holy moly, full defense Steela. We block that on Arcanine. We can Shadow Ball that Steela next turn. He goes for a Flamethrower. We block that too. Drifblim with Protect, MVP this game. I love it. So what I'm going to do probably this turn is just switch out my Arcanine, I think, because we're giving the Steel a free HP. He's most likely going to Protect. I think I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to switch it up. I'm going to Bulldoze, just to guarantee that my Lele never has to speed tie that Arcanine ever again. Potential speed tie, that is. And Bulldoze would cover a switch in to Garchomp as well. So we're just going to Shadow Ball there. I should be able to live through a second Wild Charge. That's what I'm thinking here. He's withdrawing Arcanine, so the Bulldoze play is... Oh, it is Garchomp. That's juicy. That is juicy. So juicy, in fact. He's protecting with that, but really, the good thing is that Bulldoze play. I freaking love it. It's so good. So Shadow Ball gets blocked. It is what it is. Bulldoze is going to come in onto the Garchomp slot, and that is going to be pretty good. I think I'm probably going to Protect with my my Drifblim this turn and go for something. Now we'll see what happens. I'm feeling pretty good about this though. He's getting a ton of HP back from me. The thing is, it might be a Scarf Chomp. That's like the thing. Scarf Chomp's slower than my Drifblim right now, but Drifblim can't KO that Steela right now. It might be able to. Like, should I really go for the Will-O-Wisp, or should I just Tailwind? Let's look at the rest of the team. Alright, let's look at the rest of my team. I have Metagross and Lele. Metagross is not that great versus Garchomp, guys, unless I have a Tailwind up. So I think I might be trying to set up a Tailwind. You know, we're just actually going to try... We're going to try and Flare Blitz the Steela, and we're going to try and Tailwind. We're going to get the best of both worlds right here. Because if we get the Tailwind up, the Garchomp Arcanine is just useless. And we are going to get the Tailwind up. So we're going for a greedy play. I think that Garchomp is still faster, but he doesn't know that my Arcanine is bulky. So what we're going to be able to do is, unless he gets a Double Protect... Actually, is he using a Double Protect? Or did he attack last turn? I think he actually attacked last turn, but he might not have. Let's see if he protects with Steela. Yeah, Steela protects. He gets the Protect off, but we get our Tailwind off, which is huge. And I know next turn he's most likely going to be switching in that Garchomp. It's a pretty easy play to read here. He's going to be switching in Garchomp next turn. He's going to be switching in Garchomp, and he's going to be Wild Charging my Drifblim, right? So we know that he's going to be doing that. So what do I want to do? Drifblim's going to Protect, and I think I'm just going to switch out my Arcanine for Lele. Right? Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you switch out your Steel for Garchomp? It'd be blocking the Arcanine. You'd still get the Leech Seed. It's best for everyone. So we're just going to be switching out Arcanine for Lele, and we're just going to be protecting with Drifblim. Remember, the sticky Drifblim that stays on the board as long as possible is by far the best Drifblim. Being able to safely reset up Tailwind over and over and over again is just a huge play. So we're switching out the Arcanine here for Lele. I really think he's switching out that Steel. I don't think he's just foddering it. And Celesteela is withdrawing for Garchomp, just like I said. We are in this guy's head. We know what he's going for. And we know that he's most likely Wild Charging our Drifblim. But maybe he's been Protect baited a few too many times. Maybe he's attacking my Arcanine slot this turn. No. I love it. It's so good. So the correct way to play this one is to just Psychic as Garchomp, I think. And now I'll finally, I think, lose the Drifblim. We're going to Psychic the Garchomp, and I think we're actually going to Shadow Ball into it. The only reason we're doing that is just in case this is a vested Garchomp. And if he Protect baits us and KOs our Drifblim, I still think I'm going to win. But it'd be funny that one turn I go for a play like that. Okay, let's see what we get. Let's see if it's vested. We're going to be able to see it right now. It's not, but it doesn't really matter. I was going to be Shadow Balling an Arcanine instead. So we take out the Garchomp. That's pretty big. That means he's running out of things to check my Metagross, which is important. He's probably... Oh, he's Flare Blitz in the Lele. He's going to take massive amount of recoil from that if he can even KO, but I think he can. And note that he Wild Charged me last turn and Flare Blitzed me this turn, which means he's finally showing us that he's not banded, which is pretty good. I think I'm going to send in the Metagross here. Still have a couple turns off the Tailwind. And let's see what happens next. So Metagross is on the board. And Steela's over there. Now Steela is burned and he does not have Leech Seed anymore. That's pretty good for me. I have 2 turns of Tailwind or 1? 1. This is my last turn of Tailwind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Ground EMZ the heck out of that Arcanine. They rarely ever expect it. And I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball this turn onto the Steela. Because this would guarantee, like, I don't think Steela can pop a Drifblim while being burned here. So we should be able to win this one. Maybe not this turn, but most likely next turn. He's protecting me with Arcanine. That's fine. All we gotta do next turn is just reset up our Protect and reset up our Tailwind. Maybe even that Arcanine will be within range for a Shadow Ball to KO. And he's going for a double. Is that a double Protect? Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I got no problems with double Protect. So we're going Groundium Z into the Arcanine. It's not going to be able to KO even if we crit. And let's see how much damage we do, though. My last Pokemon is a very low HP Arcanine, which means all we really have to do is get the Arcanine off the board, right? Like, for real, all we have to do is get the Arcanine off the board. I can go Earthquake and Shadow Ball into that guy, I think, next turn. I don't even think I have to go for the Tailwind mix-up. Let's see how much damage. You'll see if he Super Berries us. No berry. Alright, so yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do then. Because my Arcanine, while being low, it's not that low. So I think I'm just going to Shadow Ball and Earthquake. He would either take recoil damage into my Metagross slots. Yeah, that's the right play. So EQ can take out Arcanine from here. Shadow Ball can probably take out the Arcanine. Pairing it with the recoil that he would be taking from one-shotting either of these Pokemon, you know, we should be fine. So big damage, and we just KO right there. Cool. So the Arcanine was the big problem. You goes for an Earthquake with Metagross, don't really need it, and he's going to probably set up a Leech Seed. Oh, he's just going to Flamethrower? You know, that's fine too, I guess. I'm not going to risk switching in my Arcanine. I think that's one way that I lose the game. Switch it in, get crit, and just lose the Arcanine, because I only have like 40 HP left on that guy. But we're just going to go for Zen Headbutt. Remember, this is boosted by Psychic Terrain and stabbed by Metagross. I should be able to take the Steelix out this turn. He can go for Protect Baits, but remember, he's not going to get anything out of it because he's burned. So Shadow Ball and Zen Headbutt can probably take out the Steeler. Remember, this is a full defense Steel. We already know that from earlier, and you're just going to go for the forfeit. So another pretty good game. We beat a not Trick Room team with our team, and I don't think we even used Ninetales. I think we used yeah, we beat a Gigalith team. So we played pretty good. Feel that Drifblim was the MVP for sure that game. We're going up against Luke. I fought this guy like 3 times, and note that he's 1729. This guy has the like super good team, and he knows all my Z moves. I fought him 3 or 4 times. He's probably the first or second highest rated American right now, and that Feeny gets in my head. All right, but I didn't have Ninetales last time I fought him, so we're gonna get him with the Ninetales. We're gonna get him with the Ninetales this time. But we're not going to lead with it. We're going to lead with it, but we're going to put it on the left-hand side, which means it's not as important, so he doesn't know. So who do you want to pair it with? He's already locked in. I kind of like the Arcanine to pair it with, but I also really like the Metagross to pair it with. Like, what's he have against Metagross? Nothing. That's right, nothing. So we're going to go Metagross Ninetales, one of my favorite leads today so far. I've used it 3 or 4 times. And then secondaries. I mean, I could have also went with Drifblim Lele, but I really think he's leading the Hillego. So, Metagross Ninetales. I guess I could bring Garchomp. I don't really like it here, though, at all. I think I'm going to bring Arcanine then. And then my last Pokemon, is it Lele? It is. Yeah, it has to be Lele. The thing is, he has those 2 Ultra Beasts, and I have no form of Speed Control outside of Arcanine. And it's really hard for Arcanine to set up said Speed Control against those Tapus in the first place, because they both can just deal a ton of damage. I just really think that that Garchomp is that useless in this matchup. So, we're going to try our best here, but remember, this guy is extremely high rated, and he knows my team. I fought him 2 or 3 times yesterday, so do not expect that much out of me. And the thing is, you can say, like, well, you fought his team too. I fight so many teams, I don't remember them. And you can say the same thing about him, but my teams are pretty gimmicky, so people tend to remember the Z Metagross guy with Tech Rage. You tend to remember that guy. Versus he's just playing standard. So we see Feeny Porygon. This is good for me. I like this. Alright, so what's he going to do? Is he the guy that had Specs Feeny? I'm trying to remember. I think it was the Specs Feeny from him. The only reason I lost against him yesterday was I remember because I missed a Zen Head, but I would have won if I hit it. I'm actually just going to Meteor Mash the Feeny. Or I have a better play. We're going to make plays this game, guys. Plays for days, if you know what I'm saying. Here we go. Watch this turn. Watch this turn. Here we go. You run Swagger Feeny. That is a good Feeny. That's one of my favorite Feenies. But what we're doing here is we're going for the Tech Rage on that Feeny. I expected him to actually switch in the Arcanine to block both Meteor Mash you know, and have like really good pressure against Ninetales. It would have also blocked like a freeze dry. So it's not the end of the world, but I really wanted to hit an Arcanine on the Switch, and that would have been huge. Tech Rage, you know, better than nothing. It's going to do over half, and it guaranteed that it hits, and it probably puts the Feeny within range for Freeze Dry. Yeah, that's about how much I expected it to do. Goes for the Muddy Water, misses on Metagross, misses on Ninetales. Porygon just goes for a Recover, but we roar those. What was that play? Maybe he thought I was going to try and nuke his Porygon because I don't have any other options, but I do have options. I do have options. Kartana comes in. This is good for me. Not gonna lie, this is about as good as it's gonna get. We are gonna go for a Blizzard that would chunk the Feeny just a little bit and put it within range, and we're just gonna go for the Meteor Mash on the Feeny. And you see leftovers on Feeny. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Blizzard. Hopefully we win the speed tie. Maybe the Kartana's scarfed, but we're just gonna go for that Meteor Mash on Feeny. Remember, it is stabbed. I have a chance to get an attack boost, and I think I can finish it off from there. Actually, Tech Rage is a 180. No, I can't actually finish off, which means it's actually better to go for Zen Headbutt because I can flinch Feeny. Technically better to go for Zen Headbutt than Meteor Mash in this scenario. Actually, no, we're pairing it with Blizzard. I'm gonna go for Meteor Mash. Like, they're both the same power, right? 90 and 80. No, actually, Meteor Mash is stronger. Of course I'm gonna go for Meteor Mash. And just Blizzard. Because Blizzard is going to be taking out the Kartana. Unless it's a vested Kartana. Could potentially be vested. It's definitely hard to say. He's switching out Feeny. Who's coming in to block Meteor Mash? It's Gigalith! But I can miss my Blizzard on that Kartana. That's actually really scary. Maybe he's going to protect with Kartana. So that's a really good play because it breaks the sash on my Ninetales. I really hope that I can... Yeah, so it is going to be either him winning a speed tie or a Scarf Kartana. Let's see. I hope that I hit my Blizzard on this Kartana. Like, give me some hacks, guys. And I miss on Gigalith. I hit on the one that I wanted to hit. We take those. We take those. And now all Metagross has to do is come through like a literal champ. Meteor Mash hits on the Gigalith. That is huge damage on Gigalith. Huge. Do we get an attack boost? Oh my gosh, we get an attack boost. What is this game? So his last two Pokemon, well, he has Feeny and he has Porygon. So all we gotta do here is bring in a Pokemon that beats Porygon. We have one of those. It's called Tapu Lele. I like this. This is pretty good for me. Yep, there's the Porygon. So we're going to taunt that guy up. And I think I'm just going to Meteor Mash the Gigalith again. I really don't want to... Like, I kind of want to Earthquake my own Lele, believe it or not. But, you know... I could probably nuke that Porygon with Zen Headbutt Psychic. But I think I'm just going to taunt the Porygon and try to Meteor Mash the Gigalith. Yeah. He might be switching in Feeny. It's definitely a possibility. It would be fair if I missed this Meteor Mash, but I really don't want to. Really don't want to. I think Metagross is in a really good spot here. So Taunt's going to come on the Porygon. No Trick Room. Not today. Not in my house. And let's go for a second Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash hits again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Can we get a second attack boost? Is Metagross the new Ultra Beast? Well, I mean, I am the new Ultra Beast. He's going to try and freeze my Metagross, I think. Which is the only play he really has, I think. Don't freeze me, though. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. I wonder if Feeny gets KO'd by Psychic. Hard to say, right? Kind of hard to say. He's going to take away my terrain. I'm going to Meteor Mash the Feeny, I think. Meteor Mash Feeny. I have Arcanine in the back. So if we take the Feeny out, we win. At all costs, if we take Feeny out, we win. I could probably Earthquake and take out the Feeny. What do you guys think about that? Sandstorm hits before. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's Earthquake. Because I'm a +1, and just protect with Lele. Sandstorm hits before Leftovers, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to protect. I want to guarantee that we hit everything. He's going for Earthquake here. It's also going to be putting decent chip damage up onto the Porygon. So Earthquake's coming out. Yeah, that might be enough to take it out. Muddy Water hits. This could potentially be a misplay. This could actually be a huge misplay. Ugh. At least he can't lower my attack. He goes for the Ice Beam. He's ignoring my Lele, man. And no freeze. Lele's buffeted by Sandstorm. Probably then Porygon. And then, or then Feeny. Can we KO? Yes, cool. And that's what I wanted. You know, I wanted the Feeny gone, because then even if he gets his Trick Room up, he's not going to get anything out of it. So that's what the plan was. Looks like it worked. Do you compete at live events? Yes, I do. I go to probably 5 or 6 major VGC events per year. I also go to, you know, premier challenges, midseason showdowns, but I go to most of the regionals. And we win! We have gotten our revenge on this guy. We got a little bit lucky, but we did it. We did it, boys. Revenge achieved against Luke, and those are things that I take.